guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in sunny Clearwater, Florida, and we have the ultimate when it comes to large and in-charge trucks. This is a brand new Ford F-450 Super Duty Limited. But before we dive into this big truck, let's talk a little bit about the Super Duty, that F-450 Limited. Would you believe that this truck is actually very rare? It accounts for 1%, just 1% of all truck production from Ford. What makes it so rare is that on the limited trim, you're gonna get a ton of features, from massage seats to automatic dropping running boards, in a dually full-size turbo diesel pickup truck. One thing is for certain, not many brands are bringing it like Ford's bringing it to the table when it comes to the most outrageous of all trucks. And really what I want to scratch my head and ask this question is, does this truck even make sense to produce this F-450 Super Duty Limited, especially when you hear that price tag? But let's go ahead, dive in, and see what's going on with this truck. Right off the bat, the massive size. I mean, you know, you got people buying F-150s and lifting them and putting big wheels and tires and all that. This thing is large right from the factory. Now, as we come down, you'll see that wonderful flared fender look. The white pearlescent white paint just sparkles like a diamond in the Florida sun here. But I love the fender flare. You're gonna have that C-shaped interlocking design on the headlights. Of course, full LED headlights, daytime running lamps. We drop down, you're gonna get your lower fog lamps. And as we come across the massive grille on this thing, what I like is that it's not shiny chrome. It is shiny, but it's more like a brushed aluminum. As you can tell, this is more like a shiny chrome around the Ford and the Ford logo here, which that Ford logo, I can see Fava Flav wearing this around his neck instead of one of those large clocks back in the day with Public Enemy. But large grille, you can see the difference between the shiny bits. You do, of course, have a forward-facing camera. You're gonna need it for this truck. I like the horizontal slots. You drop down, you have this big, massive open air intake, flat black, chrome on the tow hooks to be pulling people out of God knows what, but just really wide and massive. We get up onto the hood. I love how Ford just kind of stamps, just like Zeus would stamp with a lightning bolt, the Super Duty name across the front of the hood. You have that U-shaped indentation, very, very stylish, looks great, especially from behind the wheel. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tires set up here. So we drop on down. This is a 19 and a half inch wheel, 225 on the width, 70 series sidewall. This is for doing the business. Obviously, 4x4 capability. I'm gonna have Tom kind of show off that massive spring. I mean, here's my hand, my fist. I'll open up my hand. Look at the massive springs and the shocks there. Just, this thing is just a beast rolling down the road. Of course, going into your fender treatment, you are gonna get that limited badge, the F-450 logo. I like the side vent. Really breaks up what could be just a plain Jane fender. 6.7 liter, that turbo diesel engine. Ford calls it the Powerstroke. Wait until you hear how much torque. We're talking about over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. You could rip one of the bodies off one of these Mustangs around this F-450 with that kind of torque. Maybe we should do that a little bit later. You have a little bit of color match going on the mirror caps, the Ford badging in here, just the little touches. We slide on down. Let me show you those running boards. Drop down nice on the limited trim. Of course, you close the door. They're gonna tuck up in a few seconds right there, right on cue. Thank you, F-450. You have the brushed aluminum looking door handles. But you can see I'm 6 feet tall, and this thing dwarfs me. Makes me look like Papa Smurf. I should paint myself blue. But we'll keep working our way back. You're gonna get to this over 8-foot bed, all nicely protected with a bed liner from the factory. Massive, of course, this being a dually, massive rear fender flares. And then we get to the tail end of the business here. Out back, you're also working with those 19 and a half, 225 on the width, 70 series, and of course you're getting double because this is dually. What we dualing up, we're dualing up the set of rear tires on each side. Love the style of the wheel on the back. that nice recessed finish, everything polished up. We come to the rear, that's the FX4, that is that 4x4 package. Look at the beautiful exhaust. Nice slash cut tip right on the passenger side here. And then when we get into the back, of course, this being a limited, you're gonna get that beautiful brushed aluminum across the bed, the nice limited logo in there, Super Duty, stamped like Thor's hammer, striking it on the back. We drop down and you're gonna get maximum towing capability, whether you're doing conventional towing or a gooseneck or God knows what. Very nice, massive setup. And then, of course, we're gonna drop down the tailgate, nice soft release, wide opening. You got your power supply back here. You're gonna have LED lighting, and you have a power sliding rear window at the back of the cab, of course. You could fit so much back here. This is the ultimate, not only work truck, but just truck overall. Of course, you're gonna have Ford's step system, and I like this system a lot better than what GMC has done with their folding bed tailgate. It's just a little clunky. This is easy. I mean, you're ready to rock and roll, get in and out. Look at this. Very durable. And then you just, at the end of the day, you follow the instructions. Good to go. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at that Powerstroke beast of an engine. All right, guys, we got the massive hood pop. You do have hood struts. Now, the reason why this has two sets of rear tires, that dually setup, is when you're talking about over 1,000 pound-feet of torque and you're towing something that maybe weighs 25,000 pounds, you need that extra traction, that extra contact patch to get the power to the ground to tow more efficiently. But underneath that hood, that's what we're talking about power-wise, that Powerstroke Turbo Diesel engine. So like I said, 6.7 liters of fun, turbo diesel, 475 horsepower, 1,050 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated through that slick shifting 10-speed automatic transmission. It can tow 32,500 pounds, and this truck weighs around 8,586 pounds. You got that 8-foot box, and what's great is that Powerstroke Turbo Diesel has a stronger block and heads to really help generate that power. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this beast and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this brand new F-450 Super Duty. I know you're at that point where you're like, Joe, this thing is one big, bad mamma jamma. How much is it? This is where we're scratching our heads saying, hey, should this be produced? MSRP on this one is $90,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, this being a limited trim, you're gonna get the camelback interior, that lighter tan and darker brown, tons of pocket space all over the place, but I like the white contrast stitching. That wood trim is very tasteful. Some of the other door panel material is very, very hard, but hey, if you're using this for any kind of work, it'll take a beating. And then down below, you could easily go to Subway, get 3-foot-long meatball subs, get them down there, and some water to wash it all down after you just ate 3 subs. You probably need some Tums or heartburn medicine, but stitching, beautiful. The leather is great. I love the Super Duty name stamped there. You open that up, you got a nice little small compartment. Most people would say that's for gloves. It's not. It's for candy bars. And you could get king size only in this F-450 Super Duty. We get to the center stack here. This one has the optional B&O sound system. You got your area where you could get your 7-Eleven hot dogs, keep them wrapped up in the aluminum foil and heat them up on top. 8-inch infotainment. It's the sync system, very easy to use. You go to home, you can go into all your different features, climate control, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have heated seats, ventilated seats, and massaging seats, as you would expect in a $90,000 truck. Of course, we got our cameras. You got your 360. We're looking out front, which is great. I'll go ahead and throw her into reverse. There we are out back. You got your trajectory, of course. I'll put it back into park here. You have your switch knob to go from 2 high, 4 high to 4 low. Radio controls, start stops all the way over here. AC controls, easy to read, easy to understand. Ventilated seats, which are great. Like I said, the wood trim is nice. Open up door number 1. You have a large cubby in here. Fill this up with M&Ms, 2 USBs. The challenge is, I'm zonking this, no wireless charging. Who at Ford decided to put no wireless charging at $90,000? That's beyond me. 2 cup holders, and what's great is, watch this, they're actually magic cup holders. So you have your 2 drinks. What happens if you're extra thirsty? Watch this. 1, 2, 3, abracadabra, boom. Now you have 4 cup holders, because 4 drinks are better than 2. I don't care what your mom says. On the side, you have this nice little pocket here to have your work Twinkies stashed, just in case you run out of all the other candy here. But the wonderful thing is, if you leave it at 2 cup holders, you have even more space where you can just dump M&Ms, peanut and regular, and you got a little separator in there. Here's your key fob, standard Ford key fob. Flip it around, you got your remote start, all that good stuff there. And then of course you're gonna have this beautiful leather wrapped stitch work. You got a limited badge here with your actual VIN number, because remember, 1% of all sales. We open this up, this one has the safe. So you have a locking safe. You could put the good stuff in here. So if you have some workers or friends that like to get into your stash of 100 gram bars or something, put your 100 grand in there and lock it up. Seats, beautiful. I like the limited badging. It's that camelback 2-tone, massaging, power for both passenger and driver, of course. Heated, ventilated, really nice, wonderful setup. You got that tasteful sill panel down there that says limited. It lights up at night. And you have this awesome panoramic sunroof. I'll go ahead and slide the shade back a little bit here. Alcantara, you could pet this like a little puppy, nice and soft. And you have your auxiliary switches. So if you need to put a winch, extra lighting, look at that, just like a 18-wheeler there. I like the way they have those stashed. And then you have everything else nice and clean, straightforward. Get on over to the business end though. I want to show you behind the wheel of this beast of a truck. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. Here's your power seat controls, easy to get to. You have 3 memory settings for the driver's seat, which is great. You have your buttons to do the lighting on your mirrors, which is real easy to get to, that extra lighting. And then of course you're gonna have nice thick rim steering wheel with that same beautiful stitching. The horn button needs a little work, so I am gonna zonk that, but I like the darker gray, flat black on all the buttons. And then the dash is all the information you could ask for. You have that TFT digital display in the center, all the auxiliary gauges. You have your analog tach and your analog speedometer. My only thing is that on this column shift, I wish they would have took some of that beautiful brown leather and put it around the shift knob here. This is a limited $90,000 truck. Make that happen. They did a great job on the hood here with the darker silver and the stitch work and everything. And then of course you got an oak crap handle for about pretty much everybody in here. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the back seat and see how your workers, friends, and family members are gonna love your limited. All right guys, back seat time in this F-450 Super Duty Limited. Listen, if you live in a small apartment, sell the apartment or stop renting the apartment and just buy one of these, because you literally can live back here. There's so much space. It's unbelievable. The leather goes all the way around the backs. You have the nice large pockets. That's where you can put your toothbrush, your comb, your mirror, all that kind of stuff. You got your rear AC, 12 volt, home power source, and 2 USBs. The zonk is right here. You see how there's extra room? Those could be for ventilated seat buttons. You only have heated seats. So that, to me, is a zonk at $90,000. You have another pocket over here for if you're having a friend sleep over. They could put their toiletries in there so you're not mixing up toiletries. That'd be weird. Power sliding rear glass on the cab, like I said. Semi-soft, it's not too bad. And then you got more cup holders. So 2, 4, and then 2 on the door. So you're looking at 6. And then what's great is that these seats fold up, give you maximum space. That's where you can get a little air mattress back here and sleep out of it. Or sleep under the stars. Stay at a campground. Just watch out for the animals. If you're ready though, I'm ready. Let's take this beast for a spin. All right guys, we're in the new F-450 Super Duty Limited on throttle. All that horsepower, 470 horsepower, over 1,000 pound-feet of torque, that 10-speed, doing the business. And the great thing is that you're surrounded by all these high-end materials, the B&O sound system, the leather all over the place. I think probably one of the most fascinating things that I've learned in my travels with Rady's Rides and getting behind the wheel of vehicles that I've never been behind the wheel of is that you would think this truck, with the size of it, would be very, very hard to maneuver and be cumbersome to drive. It actually is not too shabby, to be honest with you. What's kind of nice is that with the large mirrors, you could clearly see those fender flares out back, hiding the dualies, and visibility obviously out the front. You're king of the castle here. I mean, it's like sitting on the top of a flagpole driving down the road. So you're getting great visibility, and once you drive it for a little while, it's really no big deal. That's how nice this thing rides and drives. Gauges, just like in the other Ford trucks, make sense the way they have it laid out, and you kind of understand why Ford is such a top seller when it comes to truck production. And then, like I said, having a truck like an F-450 Super Duty dually in a limited trim where you're gonna get these niceties that you really can't find in this kind of size of truck in other brands. So that really is where they knock it out of the park. But is this a truck that really needs to exist? 1% of all Ford truck sales is the limited F-450 Super Duty. All right guys, pulling away from the light, easy peasy. You get on throttle though, this thing, even though it weighs over 8,000 pounds, does have plenty of get up and go for sure. And obviously when you're towing, having a truck like this is gonna make that towing experience actually more pleasurable, to be honest with you, because this thing can just handle whatever you could throw at it. Pulling out on the highway here, the mirrors are like billboards. I can see about 2 states next to me. So that's the nice thing about the mirror glass, is that it's nice and large. And the way that Ford designs their doors, they do a great job with maximizing the amount of door glass that there is to really allow you to see nice and clear and have great visibility. But driving down the highway, this thing is super smooth. And you'll see once we get to these expansion joints over here, it doesn't get too bouncy or anything like that. So here we go over the expansion joints. No big deal whatsoever. Super smooth. The Limited has more sound deadening and thicker side glass. So that's gonna help create a cabin inside that's very tranquil. So maybe you've been at work all day, you get in here, you got your massage seats going, not only for you, but if you have a passenger up front, and you got a nice quiet environment where you could find zen here inside your $90,000 limited F-450 Super Duty. All right guys, let's see how she handles in a turn here. It's crazy because it feels, like I said, really comfortable. I'm not scared. I'm not worried about hitting curbs or other cars or whatever. It's so simple to drive this thing. You are getting a little bit of that lovable chatter from the turbo diesel engine, and I'm glad that you do get a little bit of that, because that's part of the experience of driving and owning a diesel engine vehicle, is having some of that clatter. It just makes it a little bit more of a unique driving experience. But the steering is very nice and tight. It's not like a bunch of play where you're going down the road and you're just kind of, you know, bouncing back and forth on the steering wheel. It's actually quite smooth and very, very capable. All right, guys, let's see how she handles this left-hand bend on throttle. That transmission drops down so nice. Turn in, super smooth. Look at this. Am I in a sports car? No, I'm in a Ford F-450 Super Duty, and it feels amazing. Getting onto the highway, you throttle down, and you're off and running here. So simple, so comfortable. I guess all you need is just the 90,000, and you can have this in your driveway. I would say garage, but you're not fitting this in a garage. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what this F-450 Super Duty is all about in the limited trim. We're gonna wrap this up and get back to Walker Ford, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been a wonderful time once again here at Walker Ford. Definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, Jason, the whole crew here. Is this the ultimate work truck? You better bet your bottom dollar. And when I say bottom dollar, I'm talking about 90,000 of those bottom dollars. Is it purposeful? Of course. Is it necessary? I'm not so sure about that, but for somebody that has the means, that wants something that's gonna tow a camper, a very large boat, I don't know about a yacht, but a large boat, this truck has all your bases covered, plus you're gonna live like a king on the interior. But if it's trucks like these you wanna keep seeing on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you wanna help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Gotta get at the Big Guns McGee, working this truck like he works a lot of other things, which we're not gonna mention. But thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.